It is time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning, everyone. And don't worry, it is not Tuesday, it is Monday morning. And here we are for a special episode of Coffee with Kristin and Tina. This is Kristin Odell of KLO LLC, and I'm Tina Prigge of Vagabond Creative Studio. So nice to see you.
Cheers. Good morning.
Cheers.
I
Oh,
feel
this way, sorry.
we always have lovely conversations, but I feel like so blessed to get to start my week with you, like really start my week with you.
Right. Like this is the very first thing that I'm doing this week. And this is amazing, Kristin, because when we have a conversation, I'm always like so fired up and my mind is stimulated and it's a great week. But I'm going to go through the rest of the week thinking today was Tuesday.
I know. It's like we're kind of cheating a little bit. Maybe that will help the week kind of go by in a most amazing fashion. That's the intention I'm going to set for my week because I have a very busy week.
Yes. Well, so viewers, sorry if this is throwing you off at all. But like Kristin said, she's got a busy week. We've got a busy week. As entrepreneurs, we just have to be flexible. We love doing this, but our, livelihoods have to come first. So thanks for hanging with us.
I like to think of that as agility, professional agility.
I love that. That is fantastic.
Right?
You know what else you need agility for? Is building Legos, Kristin.
That's right. So I'm super lucky this week because I have not one, but two team building events this week. Tomorrow, I get to hang out with some awesome sales and marketing folks from Wapaka Foundry. And these guys have worked together for many years. And we're going to see how strong of a team they are because we are going to do Lego building. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Matt.
So I have these, I actually made an investment. I used to use these little like $5 Lego sets. I got these new sets. These are like 6x6 boxes that have like 221 little pieces in it. They're all exactly the same. And they're going to be working in teams to build some of these. And the setup for this is just so much fun. And, sometimes it's amazing to see how either exceptional adults are at building Legos or how really terrible they are. I've also gotten feedback that like as we age, the dexterity of putting Legos together gets hard. Sometimes it's hard to see like how many dots are on a piece. So if you're following instructions, it's harder to see. So just a shout out, you're never too old to play with Legos. This is like something that can really help you, stay agile. Agile is the word of the day.
Well, I like how you explained to me one time that you use them when you're doing like the team building, is that like somebody has to interpret the instructions. And without showing their team members what the picture looks like, they'll have to like describe the piece. And then somebody else has to figure out how to put it together, for example.
Yeah. Only one person gets the instructions. The person that's actually building doesn't get the instructions, which, by the way, matches a lot of what happens in real life, whether it's manufacturing or working in a bank. Sometimes instructions or ideas or strategy comes down from a different place than where the action actually happens. And so it's a really fun way to, in a kind of simple way, break down what happens in kind of our everyday life and introduce a toy that is fun. Like, how often do adults and professionals get to play with Legos? Probably not that often.
Right? And it's fun. They're fun. My son loved Legos. That was his huge motivator when he was a kid. Like, he learned how to swim because we promised him, if you can do a lap across the pool, you can choose a small Lego set, right? Like, it was this amazing motivator. But then for like Christmas one year, he got Hogwarts, and that was an incredible challenge. But, it worked out. We worked through it, and it was, fun to do it together. And then he always wanted the Death Star. And the Death Star is like from Star Wars, and it's this huge like $400 set, and we're just like, sorry, buddy, like I just don't ever see that happening. But then we realized that with all the Legos that I had from when I was a kid mixed with the ones he had gotten, I was like, I think if we go through the instructions, even though the colors won't be right, we can build this. So it took us a while, but we literally built the Death Star from directions I found online with just the Lego pieces that we had. It was so cool.
Yeah, that is amazing. So I just learned this. Sorry, Lego. I don't represent Lego, but I bought these kits. So like, here's the little kit, and here's the little pile of pieces, and it says, here's what you can do, right? So if you type in your Lego number, like your kit, it will tell you what you can all build with it, and it'll put the instructions in. You can also
Wow.
like search by lighthouse, and then it will give you lighthouse sets and with the instructions. So like I printed these off. Isn't that cool?
That is fantastic. Oh, it's gotten a lot more sophisticated then. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I don't know if all the instructions are available online, but yeah, I mean, our girls have thousands of pieces. They did get bigger sets for Christmas last year. And like we spent Christmas Day just building and putting them together. It was so much fun. So they saw these sets come and they thought they were for them. And I was like, no, no, no. You already have, to your point, thousands of pieces. I will gladly give you the instructions, but these are for work. So,
Nice.
yeah.
You know, as an adult, I feel like all of that time I invested in playing Legos has really benefited me because I got a shelf from IKEA and I put it together like
That's
that.
great. Hey, keeping your brain fresh by having to figure out instructions is a good, like, these are all good things. This is like the equivalent of doing, I think, a crossword puzzle or playing Sudoku or like all these things we do to challenge our brain. I've been playing Scrabble because, I had
Nice.
extra time at home, right? So,
Online or with a real board?
nope, on my phone, just playing
Good idea.
against, turns out you can play against your iPhone. So I've been beating my iPhone every time. I like to think I'm brilliant because of that, but yeah,
You know, I play Words with Friends, which is like Scrabble,
yeah.
and I played against my mom, and she is pretty much unbeatable. I'm so excited because I did win a game yesterday, but that's like been after like a, I don't know, 20 game streak of losses. She's a real powerhouse. So
Wow. Has she always had good vocabulary, or do you think she's just really like sneaky with her strategy? What's the
she's always had good vocabulary. She's great. She's always been like spelling is one of her strengths, right?
Mhm.
But she also won't rush to play a word. She will like noodle over it. You know what I mean? She's very
Yes,
strategic. You know, she won't just play a word because it's cool. She'll play a
right.
word if it has a special title, if it can get her the most points. She's smart about it.
Yeah, you have to like study the board and study your letters because the combination of those two things is where you can really bank some points.
Yeah. My
I love
downfall is I'll be like, oh my God, it's a really cool word. I have to play it. And then, you know,
Yeah.
it's another loss. So, talking about
So
playing, let's talk
yeah,
about Mancala. This is such an awesome game. I was so happy when you sent me this photo.
yeah. So viewers, tell us if you've played Mancala. So our girls built a homemade version of these with an egg carton last year during homeschool. It was such a cool project, and they used beans as the pebbles. And after some time, it just kind of fell apart. And so I ordered this on Amazon. I said to the girls, "Do not fear; these are available on Amazon for $12. I will gladly purchase this." So we bought it, but we didn't play it. It literally sat in the office in the desk forever. Last week we were all home together and we had extra time and I'm like, "You know what? It's time to get that board out. Like, let's do this." We have been playing this so much. This is just like a very like easy game, guys. So you like grab, you have one side of the board, the partner you're playing against has a side of the board. You grab pebbles and you have to put one in each of the next holes and then your store, which is the little slots on the end. So if Tina was playing on her side of the board and I was playing on my side, my store would be in the far end. And the person who ends up with the most pebbles at the end is the winner. And they're quick games. Like, what do you think, Tina? 10 minutes, maybe max?
Oh, right, right. Yeah, it doesn't take very long. And there's also some strategy like if there's like only one pebble in your opponent's little cup and you put a stone in there, then you get to take them, or I can't remember all of the rules, or you get to go
Yeah.
again, or there's like different strategies.
Yeah. I think if you put your last pebble in an empty spot that has nothing else in yours and your partner has pebbles across the way, you collect their pebbles and yours and
That's
put
it.
them in your store.
That's
So,
it.
like, these are quick games. You hop on, you can play it quick and set it up. We've probably played 40 or 50 of these games since last week. Just so much fun. Very quick, very
Yeah.
simple. My parents were over for dinner last night in the Packer game. Grace taught my mom how to play, so we got her playing with us last night. It's just fun.
Yeah, it's easy to learn. It's fast. No two games are ever alike.
Right.
Because it's all based on like the pebbles and where they
Yeah.
fall. And
Right. So, you had
good
mentioned
morning,
you and
Mary.
Teak used to play.
Yes, we played the heck out of Mancala.
Did it? So has this inspired you to get your board back out?
I think it might. Yeah, I haven't played that game in a while now. I'll have to review the instructions, but yeah, it's easy. I think the instruction card is like literally like this
Yeah.
big.
That's what we were like explaining to my mom last night, and I'm like, it's these 2 paragraphs on the bottom of this paper, and she's like, "Oh, that's it." I'm like, "That's
Yeah,
it."
yeah.
Apparently, you can look up online. There's different ways to play, or like more strategic ways to play, where there's different rules. But we play a very simple version of it, and it has been so much fun.
Speaking of games, did you ever play Mastermind with the girls? It's a small board, kind of like Mancala, and one person has like a little hidden spot, and they put 5 different pegs, whatever color combination they want. And then there are rows with like 20 spaces going towards the opponent, and that person has 20 chances to try to figure out what the secret color code is.
Oh
And if you get
no!
them right, like the person that has the secret colors, if you have one of those pegs right, I have to mark it in a certain way. So you have to like
Okay.
figure out like, oh, okay, so that color was in there but not the right spot, or oh, that color is in there and in the right spot, or there were no colors in there. You have to. And
Yes.
so if you can figure out the secret combination before you get to the end, you win.
So it's called Mastermind.
Mastermind. Yeah, that's a game that I've been playing since I was a kid too, and I know it's still around because we played it
Yeah.
with Teak when he was young.
Fun. That sounds like a little bit of Guess Who and maybe a little bit of Battleship.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's kind of an interesting mashup to think about it that way.
Yeah.
I bet you would like it. And it's just a two-player game, and so it's great, like, okay, I've got the winner, to
Yeah.
kind of keep things moving along.
Yeah.
Hey, I see that Mary said good morning. You guys, check out this picture that Mary Hamachek shared. This is a real person. This this is a costume for Wendigo Fest that she's amazing. I always say that Mary's a shapeshifter because she does these incredible costumes and you wouldn't recognize her. Look at how amazing this is.
Yeah. So for perspective, she is sitting on a picnic table because I had to like orient my eyes a little bit to this. So
Oh
she
yeah.
is sitting on a picnic table. So the red in the front is the legs, her
Yeah.
legs, the legs of this demon character. I'm so in awe of her. I'm like, I don't get where the ideas come from. I don't know how you put a costume together to make this like amazing.
So look at this close up.
Yeah,
So like it's painted, so it looks like these teeth. And then look at the contacts in her eyes. I think I would have been terrified if I'd run into this.
absolutely. And she like is one of many people who are down there. Like so cool. I saw somebody else's costume where it was like a headless person and the head was right actually in it was like a gem, like a big glowing gem would be here. But that is where her face actually was. So the face was like glowing out of it and it
Oh,
looked like a headless character. That was Dana Weck.
very
Amazing.
cool.
Okay, Mary
So
just said,
Mary said she also had a fiber optic whip. So that blue, like lighted area, that was a
yeah,
fiber optic whip. And she said she's been working on it since May. Wow, Mary, you can tell it's so much effort. I mean, just the ears alone were incredible.
right. So I don't know, was Wendigo just Friday night or Saturday? Like Saturday was beautiful, or yeah, Saturday was beautiful. There was awesome weather.
Yeah, Saturday was perfect weather. Sunday was rainy all day. So, but I'm not sure. I don't know the details. I think it started on Friday. I feel like, but I'm just guessing.
Okay, Mary, tell us what days it was. We're sorry, we don't know.
But I
Uh,
love this message from Steve in Fond du Lac. Good morning. It's Monday, not Tuesday. True. Thank you for reminding us, and thank you for hanging with us. And he said, "Now I'm going to be off this whole week." So, Steve, we were just saying that same thing, but nothing like getting the week off to a good start.
Steve, we like to think that we're helping you because the week will feel like it went faster because it's only Monday, but maybe feels like Tuesday. You're welcome.
Hey, we were talking about Saturday being nice weather. It was, and I'm so happy because Jason and I got out on a hike. This is the Ice Age Trail, the Dunes segment. It starts on like Columbus Street into Rivers and goes to Aurora. It was so beautiful to be in the woods.
How were the mosquitoes?
Oh, I was super thankful that we had bug spray. And even with bug spray, they were still a little pesky. I didn't end up with any bites, but they wanted to so badly.
Yeah, that the sky looks so pretty in that picture. I mean, Saturday was just, it almost felt like summer.
It
Uh,
did.
we got up early and went to Doug's like favorite spot on Saturday morning is to go to Late's for breakfast. And sometimes he goes by himself. Sometimes we just go. Saturday morning, we all got up and went together. And I like put a hoodie on because in my mind it was like and we got outside and I'm like, oh my gosh, it is totally warm out, like so nice. The girls ended up changing because they were playing outside, and yeah, it was really beautiful.
Yeah, it's unusual to be, already in October and be having this incredible weather.
Yeah. This is the like by definition, isn't this like the Indian summer? The
I
late
think so.
you get these little, even all last week I felt like was just sunny and fairly warm, and you know,
I know.
got
Even today I've got shorts on again.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't think it's supposed to be as warm today, but it still feels a little sticky in the air.
mm. Yeah, and in Fond du Lac, Steven said they had the AC on this weekend.
Yes. I'm sure
I had already turned the main power off, like the main breaker. It's already like seasonally turned off. So this weekend I'm like, sorry guys.
Wait, so you actually like shut a breaker off on the AC?
Hmm.
Wow, that's serious.
Yeah, I guess like when we bought our house, they told us that they do that so that you don't accidentally engage it in the winter when it's like snow covered or frozen or something.
Yes. So what
And
happens if like you're having a Packer game and you have ovens going because you're creating food and your husband gets warm and he just turns the AC on in the winter?
that doesn't happen.
It
Does
happens,
that happen?
it happens at our house. Doug is such a hot box that yes, it does happen at our house.
Well,
Like
T
so.
does close the radiator or closes the vents in his room, and he keeps his window open all winter.
Yeah. See,
So
that's why I'm like, open the windows. We have this lovely, lovely natural air conditioning here. So Steve just asked how everybody is feeling in our house. We are great. I feel very blessed to have had what I would say is a fairly minor case of COVID. I had one night that was really bad, but we're great. The girls got to go back to school today. I've been back at work since late last week virtually, and like this week is a big week, and Doug will get to go back to work tomorrow just because of their protocol, but we're great. Thank you very much for asking. That was very nice.
yeah, and I'm so glad, Kristin, that you're feeling better before this busy week. Thank
Yes.
goodness.
Yes, absolutely. I think in the moment, like a week ago, I was like, how am I ever going to get ready for work? Like, I was so fatigued. I was like, I do not know how I'm going to work. And thankfully, as the week went on last week, I just every day got better and better. And I still sleep a lot, which is not like me, but I'm going to take it. My body is healing. So,
Yeah.
I think you have a
Plus,
picture of Nora.
yeah, I was just gonna pull that up. Tell us that this looks like school.
So we were like so blessed. The girls go to St. Mary, St. Michael's in Clarks Mills, and the teachers were amazing with virtual school and making sure they had everything they needed. So they got to participate. They would set a computer up and listen to the instruction. Then the computer got to go to like lunch, and they got to sit with their friends and eat lunch together. And so this is Nora with one of her friends having a staring contest. And then they would do, which I didn't know this was a thing, have a blinking contest. So basically, you blink intentionally until you can't anymore, and then you lose.
You want to try it?
I feel like you'll get dizzy.
Yeah. We got a show to do. All of a sudden, we're like passed out.
Apparently, what Nora's doing, you have to like bob your head. Like really, the kids had such a great week. I feel so blessed by like the teachers we have and how willing they were to get the girls engaged with. I mean, Grace and Josie were on their computers on and off all day, and we didn't have other schoolwork to do at home. Like so amazing and so thankful. So
And you know what I love is that you can actually see their faces. So if this was the teen version, it would all just be like their names or like the little logo, They all do it video camera off.
Yes. Our kids were not allowed to do that. They had to have cameras on with their teachers. Josie got to read her book out loud and take turns reading in class. They participated in spelling tests and like held it up and showed the teacher how they spelled the words, and like it was so cool. So
That is awesome.
yeah.
Fantastic. Hey, I'm excited because I'm collaborating with my mom. Are you familiar with the Raw West Art Museum table settings? So for like decades, they've had this event and it's called the table settings. And it's you're supposed to take a piece of art from the collection at the Raw West Art Museum and create a table setting like around it that incorporates it or that includes appreciation of it. So my mom and I got selected again this year to do one, and I have a mock-up of what it's going to look like. I'm going to show you guys. We're calling it Breakfast with Buddha.
So you did this last year. Tina and I have had the show so long. We are talking about this like it's an annual event now. I love that.
Me too.
So tell me, so this is such a cool piece. I feel like I'm interrupting somebody's very private tea party.
Thanks.
How do you pick the art? Like, tell us about the
Yeah.
process of like selecting the art.
So the museum has an online collection that you can browse through. And we saw this piece. It's really long, kind of reminded me of like a Japanese or Chinese scroll. And
Okay.
it's beautiful. It's called River Canoe. So what you don't see is at the very top is this tiny little guy in a canoe. And he's just paddling through this river. And then there's all these different colored ripples that come down. And my mom and I each had one of those little side tables that you see, those yellow tables. And the top is like a lily pad shape. And so, we just felt like the color went well with the art, and it's almost as if those lily pads are floating out of the art. And then from there, we just went, breakfast with Buddha, and then noodled on it. And this is what we came up with.
It's so cool. Like, I can't decide, like, is the Buddha drinking both teas? Is the Buddha waiting for the other Buddha to come and hang out? Like, it's very, very like intriguing. It has me thinking about all the different ways that this could play itself out. I love it.
Thanks. Thank you. We had to decide too, like, do we want the Buddha facing out? And that was a totally different experience. Like when you could see his face and he was just like, it was totally different than when you turned him and he was just kind of meditating quietly on the art. It was, yeah, it felt good.
So when will you have to have this like finalized? Would you like input from the viewers?
Yeah, no, it is being finalized this week. I think the show opens Thursday, maybe.
Okay. So if you want to see it in person, you can go to the Raw West and see it in person.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Stephen, I'm assuming you're talking about the table setting. I'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Todd, you too? I'm not sure, but that's awesome. Thank you.
Yes. Todd also said it looks very inviting, and I agree. It would almost be provoking if there was another stool there empty. Like Buddha is waiting for the guests,
Yeah.
Fun. Very cool.
I think he's just going it alone. As a matter of fact, we did have we had a couple of other small Buddhas that we thought we would incorporate into it, but it just took away from like the impact of just one guy appreciating the art. Because really, like, when we do it, we want to make sure that it is about the art. It's not about everything else is supposed to support the experience of the art, in my opinion.
Well, I think you are wildly successful. It's so cool. How long are the tea settings on display? Do you know?
I'm not sure. We did it last year. I think it was supposed to be like a month, but then because of COVID, it ended up being like 4 months because the museum closed down.
Yes.
I think it's about a month and a half. It might bump up to Christmas in the Mansion.
Okay. So if you want to go see not only Tina's amazing setting, but all of the amazing settings.
Thanks, Chris.
The Raw West, probably during the month of October, we're going to say for sure, maybe early November before Christmas in the Mansion.
Right. Yep.
Yes.
That sounds fair. And then if it lasts longer than that, it's bonus.
Chris's comment is funny. I see tea for one later, sake time.
Yes.
That makes me think of going to like Mongolian type grill where the chef will squirt the sake in the little water bottle. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. For a little flame action. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, can I just tell you something cool too about this? So the table on the right is a table that my mom found, and it turns out at West of the Lake Garden, she found this in Florida. But it turns out at West of the Lake Gardens, there are identical ones that were made by John West.
Really?
So the question that, she's always like, huh, could he have made this and then like had it in Florida? Did he have a Florida home? Did somebody he know, did he gift it
Yeah.
to somebody? But anyway, she loved it so much and I loved it so much that then she commissioned the one on the left as a birthday gift for me. And so there's a local ironworks place called Spring Valley Ironworks. And the guy looked at the John West table and then replicated it for me. Isn't that cool?
That is really cool. So is there like a artist stamp or some type of information on there that, like on the original one, that like could she check it to see if it was part of something originally made by West?
Ah, that's a good question. I haven't flipped it over to look.
Because here's a little insider thing. So I'm reaching, sorry. So I was married before my first husband passed away. There's a little insight many, many years ago. But my first husband did some blacksmithing. So this is a rose that he blacksmithed. And I'll see if I can do this. But do you see this little mark? I don't know if I can.
Is it like an indentation or like a?
So it is, I'll take a picture of it. It's like, his initials were JTO. So it's a J and then a T. Gosh darn it. I'll take a picture of it and send it for next week. But
Okay.
it's a little teeny stamp. And so anytime he or his dad also had the same initials, they would stamp it. So if you got a piece from somewhere and they had made it, you would know that that was a piece made by them because it had this blacksmith stamp in it. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, it does. And I did not know to look for that. I was just assuming like a little sticky label or something. But no, you're right.
So
That makes
now
way
I'm
more sense.
curious. My thoughts about the table are, is there a little artist stamp or signature somewhere on that original piece that might help you say, yes, this is a West piece versus like even the one she had was a replica? Does that make sense?
Right, right. And I wonder if the replica is stamped in some way by the guy that made it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So Chris Cornelli suggested, looking at the base and that maybe there's a W or W's for West.
Yes. Okay. Put the picture back up. I think Chris is saying the feet is the W for West.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh my God,
Maybe.
totally.
Maybe that's the signature. Now you'll have to look and tell us if you find anything. Now I'm super curious.
Yeah, and I won't be able to flip it over until the exhibit's over, but
Right.
I definitely want to find out. Yeah, you're right. Cool. Oh, very cool. Oh, now it's like a little mystery.
I know. So I feel like many, many artists have a way of signing their pieces in a way to mark that that was their work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, do send me a picture of the base of that rose. And by the way, that was a beautiful piece.
Yeah. It's one of my little nice keepsakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Cool. Well, this has been so much fun. What an interesting conversation. All right, just a reminder to everyone out there, it is Monday. This is Monday, October 4th. We're so thankful that you joined us, but don't think it's Tuesday.
Thank you guys so much for your flexibility and hopping on and providing all of these. I'm going to point here on my screen. All of your comments show up here. I get to see every word that comes in. Thank you for joining us on Monday. It has been so much fun. What an awesome way to start the week. Todd, thank you for joining us. We don't normally get to see Todd on Tuesdays. I feel like.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Todd, it's so good to see you. Thanks for joining the conversation.
So I hope you guys have a great week. I have a crazy week, so I'm so thankful I get to start this way with positivity and fun and all of our amazing viewers.
Ditto. I'm so pumped up. This was awesome. I think it's going to be a great week for all of us. So go out, do good work, and we will see you next time on Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.